when I look at what Arizona's been able to do, particularly offensively and particularly with the run, 8 yards per carry for Kyler Murray. 8. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Those are some explosive runs for Kyler Murray. Like, they will, I think there are going to be points in this game when you are going to be wanting to pull your hair out as a Seahawks fan.
The Cardinals do several things, man. They on offense, they'll hit you with some formations that you typically don't see. Honestly, it was I saw some formations I ran at good old Monroe High School. Man, you get shotgun, you got 2 backs in the shotgun. We called it pistol east and west. That means you got 1 running back behind you, 1 to the side, but you're still in shotgun. They're going to zone option you. The concepts are really clear for Kyler Murray. He's playing some good football for a good reason. I think he understands what he's looking at, and the concepts are clear as day. The spacing and the concepts are really good. They can run the football. Kyler Murray is elusive, one of the top 5 runners in the game when it comes to the quarterback position. They are a good football team. Watching film, I will continue to watch film all the way up until game day. And the more film I watch, the more I start to believe. Everyone seems like they are where they are supposed to be. And at this level, that is half the battle because you have some ballers out there. So, no, the Cardinals are real. After I've started watching film Monday night. After watching film on Monday all the way to this morning, and I'll still watch it throughout the show, they're for real. They're a good ball team.
What I'm worried about when it comes to the Cardinals is against the San Francisco 49ers, the 49ers put up like 130 rushing yards, but it didn't necessarily feel like that because the single longest run they had was 13 yards, and it was a scramble by Brock Purdy. The Arizona Cardinals have been eating up chunk plays. They have 11 plays of 20 or more yards, 4 running plays. 4 runs of 40 or more yards this season. They're averaging the 2nd most yards per carry with 53 fewer attempts than the team that's averaging the 1st most yards per carry in the Baltimore Ravens. So it's not really like death by 1,000 cuts. What I'm worried about is in this game, Kyler Murray's going to find a way to rattle off like a 26-yard scramble.
No, he's going to.
Yeah.
That's part of who they are. Yeah, it's okay, though. He just can't have like 3-4 of those. He's going to get his. James Conner's going to get his. Marvin Harrison is settling into this offense. He leads the team in touchdowns. Have a good tight end in Trey McBride. He is what I wish we had a Trey McBride on this team. Like Trey McBride, he doesn't have any touchdowns this year, but the way he influences the defense is special. He's your true kind of old school type tight end, but he's a bit faster. He ran a 4.5. They're good on offense, man. They do a lot of things that make the defense have to think and communicate. And I think that is the theme in the NFC West. Every offense, I think the Hawks are trying to get there. Hawks are the most straight-up offense in this division. You look at the Rams, the pre-snap motions, the meshes, the jet sweeps, the bubbles, the switch routes. You see it. You look at the Niners, same thing. I'm going to go fullback. I'm going to run a wheel with the fullback out the backfield. We're going to run meshes. Like, the Hawks are the only team that's a bit more straight up. But I think last week we started to see a bit more, got under center a little bit, that we did see some shifts and some motions. They're trying some new things, but you can tell just by the offenses that are ran in this division that, you know, Grubb is the new guy on the block.
Yeah.
And he's starting to figure some things out. But when he does, this offense can be even more dangerous.
Let's talk about things that could work for this offense, and that being that the Arizona Cardinals are 31st in pass rush win rate. They've lost 2 defensive linemen for the season with injury. Their rookie defensive lineman, Darius Robinson, has been on IR all year. He just was activated to return to practice. I have no idea if he's going to play this week. Either way, it would still only be a season debut. They are worse in pass rush win rate than the Atlanta Falcons, whom, when they faced the Seahawks, only had 5 sacks on the season. Atlanta is 26th there. The Arizona Cardinals are 31st. So the worst team Seattle's going to face in that category. Is there an opportunity there for the Seahawks offense to, you know, like the way we talked about it with the Atlanta Falcons was like, oh, it's a day for the offensive line to look good. It's a day for them to look good. Is that what this could be?
I mean, on paper, it could be. The numbers tell you that it could be, but you still got to show up. Is Abe Lucas going to be completely healthy? How's he feeling? You got Oluwatimi, who played in his first full game, every single snap. How is he feeling? On paper, you look at the matchup and you tell yourself, yeah, this could be an opportunity for the Hawks to dominate on the offensive line, especially coming off of the way they looked against the 49ers. So, yeah, it could be, but you still got to go out there and play some ball. And I'm sure that the Arizona Cardinals are looking at the weaknesses on this team and focusing on that offensive line and saying the same thing. Hey, these guys aren't good. They're ranked, 28th or 27th when it comes to giving up pressures. They did get better at the tackle spot and for one game at the center spot, but just the same way we're looking at those numbers and saying, oh, my God, we can do this.
They're
Arizona Cardinals are doing the same thing, saying, all right, well, they're not good on the offensive line. Let's see what we can do.
Well, and numbers have context. Like, guaranteed they're looking at, without watching, Geno's 11 interceptions going, could it be a day for our defensive backs? Like, could we really get some takeaways here? Could we force them into some turnovers? Because Seattle's turnover differential has been awful. And here in Seattle, we have the context of like, oh, some of those picks have just been unlucky. Some have been fumbles by players that are otherwise really solid. And lo and behold, they're probably feeling pretty good. You're right. Let's talk about Kyler Murray a little bit. Kurt Menefee, this was him last week.
It was all he's too small or he doesn't do enough homework. Nobody talks about any of that stuff now. I mean, they've won 5 of their last 6 games. In many different ways, and their defense, people aren't even talking about how well it's playing because the offense looks so efficient. I think that is a team that's going to be reckoned with, not just now, but for the next couple of years.
Kurt Menefee said no one's talking about Kyler being too small or not doing enough homework anymore because Arizona has been a force in the division this year and is going to be a force in years to come. I don't know about a force. I think that all 4 teams kind of have fatal flaws this year in the NFC West, but they have won 4 in a row.
I think it's fair to say for us, they're top of the division right now. Like on paper, record-wise, they're the best team. And I think Kyler Murray, the way they're using him is why he's able to have the success he's having, completing 69% of his passes. Something that I've asked the Seahawks to do, they move the pocket a lot. They move the pocket from the half rolls, the bootlegs, the play action with the 2 backs in the backfield. He'll have one running back to the right of him, one behind him. He'll fake the play action to the back to the right, then roll out and fake to the one in the back, and then go to the left side and throw the ball down the field. They understand that they have to get this guy moving to make clear lanes for vision. The height is an issue. I don't care what anyone says. If you are under 6 foot and you're playing quarterback, you don't have the same view as a guy who's 6'3", 6'4", that can see over the line and throw through the lanes. So what do? You adjust your offense to your quarterback. They do a good job in the screen game as well. It seems like Kyler Murray is fluid. The last couple of years we saw him play is more like we compare him to a toddler running from a bath, right? He doesn't want to get in the bath yet. You see that when he runs, but now they're designing things to get him moving, to give him the option. Okay, you can hand the football off, you can run it, or you can throw it. So I think it's the Arizona's getting together and understanding this is the type of quarterback we have, so we have to design plays that make him comfortable. And Kyler Murray buying into just understanding the concepts. I've watched 3 games of him already, and his eyes go to the right place. There's no panic in him. He goes 1 to 2 to 3, high to low, low to high. He's in complete control, and he has weapons. You got Michael Wilson, who no one talks about, a receiver out of Stanford over there, who I liked when he was in college, man. He's a big play type of dude. You got McBride, as I mentioned. You got Harrison. You got Connor over there. Offensively, they got some guys, and the offense seems like they understand their assignments, and OC's doing a good job calling plays.
There is a huge advantage, not just to getting this win, but if Seattle was to sweep the Arizona Cardinals. That's major.
Yeah.
I think that the way I've been talking about it makes it sound much easier than it is.
Yeah, ain't nothing easy in this league, man.
No.
Who just Detroit Lions just beat the Jaguars, 52-6 or something like that. Jags are going to beat somebody this year. They're going to sneak up or make it interesting at the end of the year. Yeah, nothing's easy. It sounds easy because we're used to a certain Arizona Cardinals team, and that just isn't the team anymore. But in the same sense, I'm looking at the Seahawks and saying, well, this isn't the same team that we saw even 4 weeks ago, because you got addition by subtraction. You got guys understanding their roles a bit more. You're getting healthy on this offensive line. You have a receiver in JSN that's emerging as a clear number 2 receiver. DK's getting healthy. That's the great thing about football, is that the weeks matter. You play on Sunday. If you don't play on Thursday, you got 5-6 days to get right, and your team kind of morphs into something sometimes because of moves that you make and guys getting healthy.